तो फर्स्ट टाइम, लास्ट टाइम जब हुआ था तभी फर्स्ट टाइम आईडीएसए का भी था, मेरा भी था। तो तभी भी जैसे सर ने कहा कि फर्स्ट मुझे ही बुलाया गया था, तो जितना प्राउड फील होता है उससे बहुत ज्यादा अंदर से एक टेंशन भी होता है कोई भी, क्योंकि हम लोगों को ज्यादातर महिलाओं को बैक स्टेज बैठे रहने का आदत ज्यादा है और स्टेज में आके कुछ बोलने के लिए बहुत ज्यादा घबराहट होती है, लेकिन वो धीरे धीरे सब लोगों में चला जाएगा। और अभी की जो वुमेन्स है ज्यादातर यहाँ पे जो बैठी हुई है वो सब ने अपना ये डर ओवरकम करके ही वो सब यहीं पे आई है, इसीलिए वो सब यहीं पे है। तो पहले मैं आप सबके लिए एक बार ताली हो जाए प्लीज, क्योंकि हम सब ने ये जगह हासिल की है, कमाया है, क्योंकि ऐसे ही कोई नहीं आईडीएसए को रिप्रेजेंट करता है, अपना कंपनी को आईडीएसए में ये इस मीटिंग में रिप्रेजेंट करता है। तो सबसे पहले मैं अपना इंट्रोड्यूसिंग दूंगी। लोअर मिडिल क्लास फैमिली से हूँ मैं, मेरा बैकग्राउंड है, बहुत ज्यादा एजुकेशन क्वालिफिकेशन भी नहीं था, उसके बाद बहुत ही कम उम्र में मेरा शादी भी हो गया था। तो अभी मेरी जो बेटी है ऑलरेडी 13 साल की है, तो आपको समझ में आ ही रहा होगा। उसके बाद जैसे लाइफ में होता है उतार चढ़ाव, वो तो चलता ही रहता है, लेकिन उससे भी ज्यादा जो प्रॉब्लम्स होता है फाइनेंशियली, अगर फाइनेंशियली आदमी स्टैब्लिश्ड होता है तो कोई भी प्रॉब्लम इजीली सॉल्व हो ही जाता है, लेकिन अगर वही प्रॉब्लम होता है तो सबसे ज्यादा प्रॉब्लम होता है। तो वो उस फाइनेंशियल स्टेज में जब मैं स्टार्ट किया था मैंने ब्लू लाइफ, तो मेरा फाइनेंशियल स्टेज ऐसा था कि नेक्स्ट डे हम लोग क्या खाएंगे क्या पिएंगे ये सोचने वाली बात हो रही थी। लेकिन जब मैं ब्लू लाइफ में ज्वाइन किया, मैंने डायरेक्ट सेलिंग को ज्वाइन किया, मैंने हम लोग न्यूट्रिशन के ऊपर काम करते हैं। जैसे कोई भी आदमी अगर न्यूट्रिशन अच्छा बॉडी में रहेगा तो वो सबसे फिट है, उनको कोई भी प्रॉब्लम नहीं होता है, कोई भी बीमारी से वो इजीली ओवरकम कर सकता है। तो उस स्टेज को मैंने ज्वाइन किया, मेरा कुछ प्रॉब्लम्स था मैंने उसको भी सॉल्व किया। उसके बाद से आज 6 साल हो गया मेरा ब्लू लाइफ को या फिर डायरेक्ट सेलिंग को ज्वाइन किए हुए। तो मैंने पूरा 6 साल अपने आप को रेडी किया इस स्टेज के लिए। क्यों? क्योंकि मेरा पूरा ध्यान खुद को चेंज करने में लग गया। जैसे महिलाओं को क्या होता है, घर पे रहो, घर का काम करो, बच्चे संभालो, ऐसा ही लाइफ में होता है। लेकिन हम लोगों का क्या है, हम लोगों में सबसे पहले उसी चीज को चेंज करना है कि आपको बाहर जाना पड़ेगा, दूसरों के साथ इंटरेक्ट करना पड़ेगा और उस इंटरेक्शन में भी कॉन्फिडेंस होना चाहिए। लेकिन कॉन्फिडेंस अगर नहीं होगा तो कोई भी आपका बात सुनेगा भी नहीं और आपके ऊपर बिलीव भी नहीं करेगा, आपको फेथ भी नहीं करेगा। तो उससे भी तो दूर की बात है कोई आपको आइडियल मान के आपकी तरह बने। तो इसीलिए वो जो जर्नी है कि खुद को मैंने उस जगह से एकदम पूरा हाउसवाइफ से उठा के आज नेटवर्कर बोलिए, डायरेक्ट सेलिंग का एक रिप्रेजेंटर बोलिए, ब्लू लाइफ का टॉप लेडी बोलिए, आज मैं यहीं पे हूँ। तो उसके लिए मैं बहुत प्राउड फील करती हूँ। आज एक टाइम था जो जब मैंने स्टार्ट किया था तो मैंने बोला कि मैं फाइनेंशियली बहुत अनस्टेबल थी, लेकिन आज मैं महीने में लाख के ऊपर इनकम कर रही हूँ। तो इससे ज्यादा फ्रीडम, इससे ज्यादा क्या बोले कि आपको नहीं मिलेगा लाइफ। ये डायरेक्ट सेलिंग ही ऐसा लाइफ है जो आपको लाइफ चेंजिंग का ऑप्शन देता है। कैसा? एक पहले आप अपना लाइफ में रहते हैं, कुछ भी करते हो, लेकिन एडिफिकेशन नहीं मिलता, आपको जो एक्स्ट्रा रिस्पेक्ट मिलना चाहिए वो नहीं मिलता। जैसे वुमेन्स को क्या होता है 24/7 वो घर में काम करती है, लेकिन रिस्पेक्ट जीरो। लेकिन अगर आप वहां से उठ के थोड़ा यहाँ तक आ जाओ, बैठे हो स्टेज में आ जाओ, तो धीरे 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 आपका जो रेस्पेक्ट लेवल है यहाँ पे चला जाता है। ये यहीं पे यहाँ पे 100 से ऊपर लोग हैं, सब लोग मुझे सुन रहे हैं, लेकिन अगर मैं डायरेक्ट सेलिंग नहीं करती, अगर मैं एक नेटवर्कर नहीं होती, अगर मैं ब्लू लाइफ को आईडीएसए में रिप्रेजेंट नहीं कर रही होती तो कोई मुझे पूछता यस और नो? नो, क्योंकि मैंने ये काम किया है इसीलिए लोग मुझे सुन रहे हैं, अच्छा लगे बुरा लगे लेकिन सुन रहे हैं। तो यही मेरे लिए सबसे बहुत बड़ी बात है और मैं यही चाहती हूँ कि हर एक लड़की उठ के आए स्टेज पे आके अपना पूरा जर्नी बताए, खुद को चेंज करे, अपना लाइफ में अपना आइडेंटिटी बनाए, जो हम लोगों को नहीं होता है। जैसे वुमेन्स को सेलिब्रेट कर रहे हैं आईडीएसए को थैंक यू, लेकिन ये वुमेन्स को सेलिब्रेट करना क्यों पड़ रहा है? अगर हम लोग वुमेन्स डे सेलिब्रेट कर रहे हैं, क्यों? मेंस डे तो कोई नहीं सेलिब्रेट करता है ऐसे। हम लोग सेलिब्रेट इसलिए कर रहे हैं क्योंकि हम लोगों का वो जगह कम है। हम लोग काउंटिंग में ज्यादा है कि वुमेन्स डायरेक्ट सेलिंग में बहुत ज्यादा है, वुमेन मेन से ज्यादा, लेकिन आप फील्ड में जाओ वुमेन्स पीछे है। उसी वुमेन्स को आगे बढ़ाने के लिए, जैसे हम लोग का अभी टैगलाइन क्या चला है, बेटी पढ़ाओ बेटी बचाओ। क्यों बोल रहे हैं? क्योंकि पहले नहीं पढ़ाते थे, पहले नहीं बचाते थे, इसीलिए टैगलाइन आता है। बोलते हैं जो मार्केट को चाहिए होता है वही मार्केट में बिकता है। अगर आपको चाहिए अभी वुमेन्स डे सेलिब्रेट करना पड़ रहा है अलग से, तो उसका मतलब है हर एक वुमेन को जागना चाहिए और यहाँ पे आना चाहिए। सब में बहुत है। जैसे हम लोगों का सबसे ज्यादा जो है देवी दुर्गा, हम लोग सेलिब्रेट करते हैं ना दुर्गा को। क्यों करते हैं? क्योंकि एक दिन वो आई थी 10 हाथ लेकर, एक असुर को उन्होंने मारा था। लेकिन वो जब नॉर्मल डेज में रहती है उसको कोई पूजा करता है? नहीं करता है। उसके उस रूप को पूजा करता है जब उसने कुछ एक अचीव किया था। तो एवरी मैन वुमेन हैव टू अचीव योर टारगेट। एक टारगेट बनाओ, फिर उसको अचीव करो। अगर आप अचीव कर सकते हो तो सब आपको रिस्पेक्ट करेंगे, आपको एडिफाई करेंगे, आपको सुनेंगे। अगर नहीं करोगे, एक साथ एक जगह पे बैठे रहोगे तो कुछ नहीं, लाइफ चला जाएगा। क्योंकि लाइफ एक जर्नी है। आप अगर इस जर्नी को लग्जूरियस बनाना चाहते हो तो आपको जहां पे बैठे हो वहां से उठ के आना पड़ेगा और आपको खुद को तैयार करना पड़ेगा। अगर नहीं करोगे तो जहां का है वैसे ही रहेगा। एक दिन आपने जन्म लिया था, एक दिन आप मर जाओगे, हर कोई ये करेगा। लेकिन जो बीच का जो जर्नी है वो आपको ऐसा बनाना है कि कोई एक बार होने के लिए तारीफ करे या फिर क्लैप करे। थैंक यू सो मच। थैंक्स IDSA, थैंक्स ब्लू लाइट।
Thank you so very much, ma'am, for sharing your beautiful journey with us. All right, so with this, next I would like to call on stage Miss Paramita Chaudhary from Modi Care. Let's have a huge, huge round of applause, please. When I say a huge round of applause, it has to be a huge round of applause, please, everyone. गुड मोदी केयर मॉर्निंग। एक्चुअली हमारा मोदी केयर में एक स्लोगन होती है हर वक्त, गुड मोदी केयर मॉर्निंग। सबको मैं वेलकम करना चाहती हूँ। और मैं मिसेस पारमिता चौधरी बहुत दिन 23 साल से मोदी केयर में हूँ और वेरी वेरी प्राउड कंसल्टेंट हूँ। और एक चीज मैं सबको बोलना चाहूंगी, जे मैं इधर आई थी सिर्फ आइडेंटिटी ढूंढने के लिए फ्रेंड्स, सिर्फ आइडेंटिटी ढूंढने के लिए आई थी, जो आइडेंटिटी मेरे पास नहीं था। मेरे हस्बैंड की दौलत मैं विदेश गई हूँ, उधर रही हूँ, लेकिन इधर आके देखा मेरा कुछ नहीं है। राइट मैं से हाउस वाइफ हूँ, लेकिन हाउस वाइफ का जो टैग है ना उसको तोड़ना चाह रही थी, इसलिए मोदी केयर में आई थी। ऐसे ही आ गई थी मोदी केयर में, सॉरी मैंने मोदी केयर में ऐसे ही आ गई थी, मतलब कुछ ढूंढ के चॉइस करके नहीं आई थी। लेकिन आके देखा, यस दिस इज माई प्लेटफॉर्म, आई कैन चेंज माई सेल्फ। एवं उसके बाद से मेरा जर्नी शुरू हुई और धीरे धीरे मेरा चेंज जो है धीरे धीरे होते गया। और आज मैं बहुत कुछ मिला मोदी केयर से। मेरे को 10-12 फॉरेन ट्रिप, 2-3 कार्स और बहुत सारे अचीवमेंट। और मैं समझती हूँ जे एक चीज बदलने के लिए आई थी, लेकिन बहुत कुछ मिल गया। लेकिन सब औरतों को, सबको मैं बोलना चाहूंगी, कुछ तो ऐसा करना चाहिए, कुछ ऐसा करो जो जीवन बदल जाए। राइट और एक प्लेटफॉर्म मेरे को लगता है जो मल्टी लेवल मार्केटिंग सबसे बढ़िया वो प्लेटफॉर्म है जिधर हम बदल सकते हैं, क्योंकि हमारा बहुत अच्छा ट्रेनिंग सिस्टम, बहुत अच्छा इंडियन डायरेक्ट सेलिंग एसोसिएशन का सपोर्ट एंड हमारा मेंटर्स का सपोर्ट, सारे सपोर्ट आपके साथ है। सिर्फ आगे बढ़ना चाहिए और जो चीज हमें चाहिए वो उसको पाने के लिए काम मेहनत करना चाहिए। हम मेहनत करने के लिए तैयार है, आदमी अपने खुद को बदलने के लिए तैयार है, तो एक इंडस्ट्री आपको सारा कुछ देगा जो हम सपने में भी नहीं सोचते हैं हम लोग। तो थैंक यू वेरी मच, थैंक यू एवरीवन, थैंक यू वेरी मच हमें इतने देर तक सहने के लिए। और यही बोलना चाहूंगी, और सबको और भी जो है उनको बोलने के लिए ये करना चाहिए.
Thank you so very much, ma'am. I think she's full of energy. The moment she entered on the stage and the moment she started speaking till the end, the only thing I could hear was her energy. So with this, next I would like to call on stage from Herbalife International India, Miss Pooja Kapoor. Can we have a huge round of applause for her, please?
Hi guys, good afternoon everyone. My name is Pooja Kapoor and a huge round of applause to all of you. Come on guys, let us give ourselves a big round of applause for being here today. And I'm so really very honored and proud. I stand here as an independent Herbalife associate and also, thanking the IDSA for the invitation. It's really a privilege and honor for me to share my journey with all of you. In fact, my Mera journey started, if I have to share that. As a little kid, I have always only wanted to travel the world. That's the only thing I wanted to do. And I was introduced to Herbalife as a little girl. A lot of you started at a different stage. I started at a very young age. And, I was introduced to Herbalife by a circle of influence. And the first thing that was told to me was to use the product, to have the product experience, to have the confidence, and that's what I did. And I got a super amazing result. I lost a lot of weight, a lot of inches. My energy was really flying. My skin was really radiating. It happens as a teenager, and I really felt excited to share my result with a very few, people. And that actually laid the foundation for my Herbalife business. That little retail sales that I had, that gave me the confidence to start attracting few more, independent Herbalife associate, and then together as a team, we started to build a team of people. Today, that little dream, that little team of people, we've been able to reach throughout the country, to urban and rural India, starting with tens of people, reaching out to hundreds and thousands and thousands and thousands of people, even internationally, helping people to live a healthier life, helping people to, choose a, career where they have a fulfilling life. I was taught the second thing, and I have never forgotten that. I was taught, always take care of your people, love them a lot, and put their interests ahead of you. And I have never forgotten that. I'm sure a lot of you have heard that in your journey. I was told that, and then together as a team, we started to travel together. We have lots of fun together. We have health freedom, we have financial freedom, but above all, we have time freedom. We are friends. And that little girl dream of traveling around the world has come true. In my 20s, I have been able to travel around the world to all the continents around the world. I live a super luxurious life. I do not have to worry. I do not have to look at the price when I buy something. That is the freedom. As a proud Herbalife associate, I've had the opportunity to rub shoulders with some of the most amazing personality, our brand ambassador, Virat Kohli, Mary Kom, just to name a few. But for me, the most satisfying thing has been my personal development, learning from people like business philosopher like Mr. Jim Rohn, the person that I have become today, being able to achieve all this at a young age. But if you have to ask me, one of the most satisfying thing about my journey has to be what is happening in my team right now. As a young girl, to see so many people in the team living in super extraordinary life, living in super extraordinary life, gives me so much of happiness. Many of them are living a life today which they only thought in their dream, and even beyond their wildest dream is now come true for them. They drive luxurious car, they travel around the world, and whenever we have a meet together with our team, which we do so often, we are always saying these two things. After so many years, we are just only getting started, and the best is yet to come. I stand here as a proud Herbalife associate, my mission is to continue to help and inspire many other people to think out of the box, to believe it's possible. I'd also like to thank the direct selling industry for giving the opportunity to simple ordinary people to believe everything is possible and you can live a super extraordinary life. Thank you so much once again for giving me the opportunity. It was truly a pleasure and honor for me to share my journey with all of you. Enjoy the rest of the day, guys. Thank you.
Thank you so very much, ma'am. Thank you. Next, I would like to call on stage Miss Rejunaru Tas from For Life India. Can we have a huge round of applause, please?
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Naru. I hail from Nagaland. Kolkata is always close to my heart and finally settled along with my husband and children. For life is a part of my life, and I always endeavor to and make it to help others through self-example and usage of these versatile products of For Life. I enjoyed every moment shared and spent. The product benefit and the income opportunity is very strong and the bonus is unlimited. And the exciting part is when we get the national and international trips. That is wonderful and overwhelming. So I am so grateful to the For Life management and also Mr. Ranjit, our manager, who have helped me to earn this recognition. And I would like to thanks to the vendors of For Life, have always motivated me to run the marathon and not the sprint. Thank you.
So, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon, everyone. It seems that kuch log so gaye, so I just wanted to hear again. So, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so very much. My name is Urvashi Talwar, and I'm going to be the host for this wonderful occasion. Firstly, I would like to extend a very warm welcome to each one of you to the IDSA West Bengal Direct Selling Sabha 2023. Ladies and gentlemen, can we have a huge round of applause? Thank you so very much. And moving further, I would like to call on stage Mr. Chetan Bhagwaj, General Manager of IDSA, to make the formal introductory of this event.
Thank you, Roshi. And good afternoon, everyone. And I think our chief guest will be joining us in another 10-15 minutes time. So let me take this opportunity and bore you with my introductory address, whatever I have prepared. So very warm good afternoon again to all the members of the executive committee of IDSA, friends from media, and of course the wonderful ladies in the auditorium. On behalf of IDSA, I, Chetan Bhagwaj, General Manager, welcome you all and extend my gratitude to all the attendees for coming in large numbers and blessing us with your presence. So before we start the proceedings of the day, let me quickly make a small presentation for our friends from media especially, because I'm sure all of you already know what direct selling is and how direct selling works. But for our friends from media, let me quickly make a small presentation on how this industry actually works and how India has been performing on the global scale. Allow us a minute as the presentation opens. Can we have the presentation on screen? Okay. So direct selling in India, embracing change and building resilience for sustainable growth. This has been the theme for IDSA's annual survey for the current financial year 2021-2022. Now the current financial, obviously, 22-23, is over only about 20 days back. So the results will be out somewhere in the month of October only. Oh, ma'am is here, so let's officially start the function then. Urushi, I would request you to kindly come and take.
All right, so with this, ladies and gentlemen, now I would request our Honorable Chief Guest, Srimati Roshni Sen, IES Principal Secretary, Department of Consumer Affairs, Government of West Bengal, to please kindly come forward and light the auspicious lamp, and all our respected dignitaries as well, to please come forward for the lighting ceremony. May I request everybody to please kindly take their seats. So once again, good afternoon to each one of you, to all our respected dignitaries. Well, as we know that Kolkata has always been a wonderful host to us, and to come back here and organize this event is indeed a wonderful experience for each one of us. West Bengal is an important market for the direct selling industry in India. In fact, it would not be wrong to say that no direct selling company working in India, big or small, can afford to exclude West Bengal from their business plans. The state has been performing consistently well, and I'm confident that the results of the performance of the West Bengal industry would be shared in a short while from now. Would once again substantiate that from the direct selling industry to grow in India, West Bengal has to play a very major role actually. The journey of direct selling in India started 26 years back. Today, in addition to discussing the performance of the direct selling industry in India and the state of West Bengal, we would also make a humble attempt to recognize the effort, the talent and the spirit of women by felicitating top women micro-entrepreneurs who have made valuable contribution to this industry. But before we move further, I would now request our chairman and vice chairman, Mr. Rajat Banerjee and Mr. Vivek Katoch of IDSA to please kindly felicitate our respected chief guests of this wonderful evening. Can we have a huge round of applause, please? And with this now, I am expecting a big round of applause actually from all of you. All right, so moving further, now would I request all our respected dignitaries to please release the annual survey of 2021 to 2022 for the direct selling in India. Let's have a huge round of applause, please. All right, so with this, moving further, now I would like to hand over the mic to Mr. Chetan Bhardwaj, General Manager of IDSA.
Thank you so much. I won't take much time. And again, a request, I would request if only the event photographer and the media photographers can be given space at the front. So rest of the direct sellers will have a lot of opportunities to take pictures later. Yes, so just before ma'am came, we were discussing about the direct selling industry. Now we'll be very quick in this because we know ma'am has to attend to other commitments also. First of all, what is WFDSA and IDSA? I'm sure as direct sellers of IDSA member companies, you have been hearing about these two terms very often, WFDSA, IDSA. So WFDSA is the World Federation of Direct Selling Associations, and it was founded in the year 1978. It's based out of Washington, DC, USA. Like IDSA is the premier industry association of the direct selling companies from India. Similarly, we have got associations from more than 62 different countries, and all of them have one parent body which is called WFDSA. And the governing council, the CEO council governs the WFDSA operations. On the other hand, the executive committee governs the operations of the Indian Direct Selling Association. And by virtue of our association with WFDSA, IDSA gets access to the world's best practices, world knowledge sharing from over 170 countries where the industry is currently working. Can we have the presentation on the screen? Yeah, it's there. Very quickly for our friends from media, what exactly is direct selling? See, direct selling is no different from the traditional retail supply chain in the sense that if you look on the screen, this is what a traditional retail supply chain looks like. So you have manufacturer on one end and the consumer on the other end. So product from a manufacturer to reach to the consumer, it has to pass through several intermediaries. So you have got distributors, you have wholesalers, you have retailers, and at every stage, at every intermediary, a certain markup is added to the product cost. Now, what is direct selling? Direct selling simply remove these intermediaries from the supply chain and we replace them with direct sellers, thereby bringing, the manufacturer closer to consumer. This way, our companies are able to offer high quality products to our consumers at very affordable prices. How direct selling evolved. So it was in the year 1886 when the world's first direct selling company, Avon, was established, and we are proud to say that they are also one of our member companies. By 1925, by this time the industry was largely in the United States of America only, but by 1925, the annual direct selling sales in US was already to the tune of 300 to 500 million US dollars. By 1960s, emergence of direct selling, new kind of direct selling companies started to came, new kind of models started to came. By 1970s, the product portfolio got diversified. Earlier, you will be surprised to know that books and appliances were primarily sold through direct selling, but later cosmetics were added, wellness products were added. So by 1970s, the portfolio of products that were offered through direct selling was expanded. 96 was the year which is considered to be the official start of direct selling industry in India, and this was the year when international companies like Avon, Amway, Herbalife, Oriflame, they started their operations in India, and domestic Indian companies like Modi Care, they also started their operations in India. 2016 was the year, as you all know, when the government of India released the direct selling guidelines, which provided the kind of first regulatory clarity for the working of the direct selling industry in India. And 2021, we all know, was the landmark year for the industry. This was a year when the consumer protection direct selling rules were notified, thereby providing legitimacy to the direct selling as a concept and true meaning of what direct selling and what the activities are. Let me just quickly share some global data for the direct selling industry. Now, this is the data for the year 2021. The 2022 data would only be available with us by the end of, I think, June 2022. That's when the World Federation would be releasing the numbers. So let's see how the industry performed in 2021. So as you will see in the global level, the industry has been registering a kind of sustainable growth. There was a bit of a drop between 2018 and 2019 when the industry global turnover came down from 183.1 billion US dollars to 175.3 billion US dollars. But this was largely because industry was facing some regulatory challenges in China. Now, China happens to be the second most largest market for the direct selling industry, and a substantial drop there resulted in a cascading effect actually. But if you look at the bottom of the screen, if we exclude China numbers, the industry has been able to register a constant growth. Moving on to quickly, now which continents, which regions of the world are contributing to the global direct selling sales? Asia continues to be the top region, both in terms of sales as well as number of direct sellers. So Asia region contributes nearly 43% of the global direct selling sales, followed by Americas, which includes both North America as well as South America, 36%. Europe 20%, and Africa and Middle East is an emerging market, 1%. So as direct sellers, you've got good opportunities there to expand your network. Now globally, which product categories are most sellable through direct selling channel? Let's quickly have a look at it. So wellness accounts for nearly 36.2% sales of the global direct selling number, followed by cosmetics, household goods, and then you have other categories like clothing, financial services. Of course, in India, we are not allowed to offer financial services through direct selling channel, but globally, it forms up nearly 3.8% of the share. And then you have several other categories. How many direct sellers are employed globally? You'll be surprised to know that 125.4 million direct sellers are working globally with different direct selling companies. That's nearly 12.5 crore direct sellers globally. Now, out of these, 26% are men and 74% are women. And I think direct selling industry, to its credit, is the only industry. Normally, if you ask me which industry provides, employment opportunity to women, immediately people will say education or healthcare. But it will be surprised that, direct selling is actually the industry which offers the maximum income opportunity, employment opportunity to women globally. what all age groups are these direct sellers coming in from? So as you can see, direct selling appeals to virtually people from every age group, but yes, people from age group of 35 to 44 and 45 to 54 nearly form of 50% of the global direct selling sales force. But people who are in excess of 55, they also form up 23% of the global sales force. Now we did a very quick survey basically to determine the mood of direct sellers and their consumers, what they basically feel about the industry and the companies that they are working with. So I'd just like to quickly share some findings with you. Why people they choose to prefer products from direct sellers or from direct selling companies? We asked consumers this reason, and 82% of the people said they like the product quality. So that's a big thumbs up for all the companies in direct selling. Their products are liked by consumers. 4% of the people say because of the brand name. 4% says because the companies are offering them refund policy. 2% said because the prices were reasonable. And 8% gave multiple reasons. So the essence here is that absolutely dominant 82% are happy with the product quality, and this is a big thumbs up for all the direct selling companies, because if the quality is good, if the consumer is liking the product, rest all the things they take second place or second seat. Moving on, we asked people why you joined direct selling industry, or why you decided to become a direct seller. So 51% of the respondents, they have told us that they joined the industry because it offered them self-employment opportunity. 29% said because the industry offered them additional income. 4% said because the industry offers them flexible working hours. 4% said because the industry helps them in networking and socializing with other people. And about 3% said because they had an impact on the livelihood or their other job, or they suffered from a pay cut. So again, a variety of reasons have been quoted to us, but the primary reason remains self-employment opportunity. So you don't have to be, working under anyone. You have to be your own boss. You have to be your own working hours. You can determine your own style of working, how much time you want to invest in the business. 2% said because there is no formal qualification required to join the industry. Now we try to find out from the existing set of direct sellers how long they have been associated with the company that they initially joined. Again, we were very surprised to know that 87% of the direct sellers have quoted that they are there with the same company with which they entered the industry. So it's a very, again, the companies, they deserve a big round of applause, because they are able to offer that kind of commitment to their direct sellers, that kind of training and orientation, personality development to their direct sellers, that they don't feel the need of moving away from their company. So 87% have remained with their first direct selling company. So with this, thank you so much. And again, thank you so much for joining us in large numbers today. Thank you.
Thank you. Check.
Thank you so very much, sir. With this, moving further, I would like to invite on the dais the chairman of IDSA, Shri Rajat Banerjee. Let's have a huge round of applause, please.
Thank you, Chetan. Very warm good afternoon to everybody, and a special welcome to Roshni Sen ma'am. Thank you so much for taking out time and acknowledging this industry and its contribution to the state. And of course, to the wonderful audience out here. The round of applause when I came was a little subdued. So can I get a little energy from the room, please? Thank you. Well, I'll try to make my presentation a little brief. Ma'am has to leave us shortly. But I'll just take you through where we stand, how this industry is done, especially with focus to West Bengal. This is a national figure, of course, and I think most of us in the hall would be familiar with this. Chetan did talk about the guidelines that came out in 2016, and from this graph we can see once there was regulatory clarity from the regulator's perspective, that gave companies confidence, and that confidence flowed to people such as you in this room. This industry has seen a fairly strong growth. I think one thing that we are all fairly clear about is that even during the pandemic years, terrible years, unfortunate for the world really, somehow this industry also not just came through this pandemic, and I was sharing with my friends in the media some time back, that one strong reason was that most of our companies are very strong on the nutrition and wellness products, and I think that served society very well. And the industry was resilient, grew reasonably well. If you look at the spread of contributors, wellness and cosmetics together account to close to 80%, and that's not surprising when I see such healthy and such good-looking people in this room. Household products about 7%, food and beverages 4%, home care 3%, and others being at around 5%. Globally, if you look at these figures might seem a little dated, I would admit, but I think what's interesting is if you see 2-3 years back, India was at number 15, and if you see the figures really, as an industry, and I would urge ma'am to pay little attention here, ma'am, because if this industry in the number one country is about $35 billion. At that time, we were not even 10% of that. We were under $3 billion. So I think what I'm trying to say is that in an emerging market, emerging scenario where India's economic strength is being acknowledged, I think there is plenty of headspace for us here in India to grow as such. So what did we see the next year? India moved up, not by one, but I stand by 3 places, and we've crossed the 3 billion market, but of course we see the country number one, which went up from 35 to 40 billion dollars. We really have a very, very long way to go, given the fact that we have a huge market, we have a huge opportunity, and we have the clarity, we have the support, not just from the state government here, as I'm sure Roshni ma'am will allude to subsequently, but also this, at the center with the direct selling rules of 2021. If you look at the Indian context, North leads with 30%, East is number 2. Yes, I think we can give ourselves a big round of applause. And like I mentioned, not just East, Bengal has always been very strong, has been among the top 5 states for the last 7-8 years. So terrific job that you all do out here. West with 22%, South with 15%, and Northeast at 8%. And this is where the top 5 states stack up, Maharashtra being number 1, West Bengal number 2, Uttar Pradesh, and followed by Bihar and Karnataka. And I was sharing with a couple of friends just before we started that till last year, among the top 5 states, there were 3 states from the East. Odisha has slipped to number 6. So East has done very, very well in this industry from our perspective. If you look at the gender spread in 2017-18, the women numbers were a little larger, 51. It came to about 50 equal in 18-19, and it's kind of the swing is going the other way, which is interesting because I think in Chetan's presentation you have seen globally about 75% direct sellers are women globally. In the Indian context, I remember I've been in this industry for more than 20 years. In the initial years when I was here, yes, women were also about 70-75%. So I think what we are seeing from my perspective is that while earlier direct selling was viewed as probably a part-time kind of a thing, today it's become, I think, a source of livelihoods for families, which is, I think, a very good place to be, because that will probably we can build on this in terms of sheer social strength. If you look at the age-wise split, 18 to 24 we had 26%, from 25 to 34, 28%. These two combined are more than what, 55, 56% of the total direct sellers in India. 35 to 44, 25%. 45 to 54, 14%, and 7%, 55 plus. I think this is also a very healthy sign, because the company that I'm from, there's a very strong focus on the age group of the 30s. So I think because obviously this industry, not just in India, but globally, as Chetan might have indicated in his slides, is dealing with the onslaught of e-commerce. And e-commerce is growing very, very fast. And as an industry, if we are not relevant to the youth especially, of course, we are all have to be relevant, but going forward 5 years down the line or 10 years down the line, it will be the youth who will take this industry forward. To that extent, I think this industry again seems to be well placed. Yes, there's always a flip side. Last year we saw a bit of a degrowth by in terms of 60% member companies showed a negative growth, but 40% did show a strong growth, which helped lift the industry and maintain a CAGR of 13% or thereabouts. West Bengal, of course, has a CAGR of 17% over the last 5 years, which again is very, very heartening to note. This is again interesting. It took me some time to understand. Previous year, about 41% people during the pandemic joined for additional income, which meant that the remaining 59% are there for the long term. This time we see it, the people who have joined in for additional income have come down to 21%, which means 79% people are looking at this industry as a full-time livelihoods issue. Yes. Again, finally, West Bengal, if you look at the snapshot, gross sales is around 1900 crores, which is very, very strong, which is about 10.4% of the national sales. We contribute close to about 300 crores by way of taxes to the exchequer, to the state government, and the center as well, of course. And they're close to 4 lakh active direct sellers in the state. So I think all in all, very pleasing figures for us here in this room, for us as an industry, and for you all as direct sellers. Thank you so much.
Tell them to finish in 3 minutes.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, direct selling industry owns the credit of its own success and hard work of our women direct sellers. Women have led the industry on the path of progress of nearly 2.5 decades, and now it's time that we listen their stories by calling one of our most amazing women entrepreneur, Miss Mahua Ghosh, on the dais. Let's have a huge round of applause, please.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Myself, Mahua Ghosh. So, I feel honored to be felicitated the prestigious association, Indian Direct Selling Association. So, इस direct selling industry के साथ मैं last 25 years से जुड़े हुए हूँ. हाँ, तो जिसका उम्र 26 years है, तो since inception हम लोग ये बिजनेस को बिल्ड कर रहे हैं. थैंक्स टू एमवे, थ्रू एमवे हम लोग इस बिजनेस से जुड़े हुए हैं, और मेरा ख्याल से ये एक ऐसा प्लेटफॉर्म है जहां हर तरीके के, हर बैकग्राउंड के लोग अपने खुद का बिजनेस को बिल्ड करके एक इनकम अपॉर्चुनिटी ले सकते हैं, लाइफ में सक्सेसफुल हो सकते हैं. स्पेशली लेडीज, वो अपने फैमिली को सपोर्ट कर सकते हैं, वो अपना एक आइडेंटिटी ले सकते हैं. तो मेरे बाप, मैं जो बिजनेस शुरू किए थे तब मेरा एकदम बेटी 2 months का था, और बेटा बाद में 4 years के बाद हुआ है. आज मेरा एक लड़का एक लड़की है जिसका उम्र है
बेटी का 25 एंड बेटा का 21। वो लोग बहुत अच्छे स्कूल में मतलब बेस्ट एजुकेशन हम लोग प्रोवाइड कर सके। लेकिन ये डायरेक्ट सेलिंग इंडस्ट्री जो है ये ना एक रिस्क फ्री और एक फ्लेक्सिबल बिजनेस है। जो मैं जब बिजनेस शुरू किए थे इस इंडस्ट्री के साथ तब मेरा प्रोफेशन था स्कूल टीचर और मेरा फैमिली था, मेरा बच्चे थे, तो ये सबको संभाल के हमने ये बिजनेस को बिल्ड कर पाए ड्यू टू दिस फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी, टाइम, ये सब के लिए। और इसमें हम लोगों का एज ए डायरेक्ट सेलिंग पार्टनर हम लोगों का बहुत बड़ा इन्वेस्टमेंट भी नहीं करना पड़ता है क्योंकि ऑल आर टेकन केयर बाय आवर कंपनीज, प्रोडक्ट मैन्युफैक्चरिंग, प्रोडक्ट स्टॉक्स, रेलेवेंसी, ऐप, वेबसाइट, सब कुछ डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन। तो हम लोग क्या करते हैं, लॉट्स ऑफ एफर्ट्स आर इन्वॉल्व्ड टू बिल्ड दिस बिजनेस बिकॉज हम लोगों को ये हम लोगों का जो प्रोडक्ट्स है, हमें का प्रोडक्ट बास्केट ह्यूज, इसमें होम केयर, होम हाइजीन, पर्सनल क्लीनिंग एंड हाइजीन, हेल्थ एंड वेलनेस कैटेगरीज है, ब्यूटी कैटेगरीज है, सब कुछ इसमें है। तो ये सब इतने सारे प्रोडक्ट को जानना, नो योर प्रोडक्ट, उसको सीखना, उसको डेमोन्स्ट्रेशन करना, कस्टमर बिल्ड करना, कस्टमर को सर्विस देना और हमारे जो टीम मेंबर्स है उन लोगों को हैंड होल्ड कोचिंग करना, उन लोगों को मेंटरशिप देना, उन लोगों को इंस्पायर करना, मोटिवेट करना, क्योंकि हर जर्नी पे अप्स एंड डाउन्स होता है। जैसे थैंक्स टू माय मेंटर्स जो हमको भी ऐसे करके इस जगह पर लेकर आए हैं। तो थैंक्स टू एमवे, थैंक्स टू माय मेंटर्स जिसके लिए आज मैं इधर हूँ। तो अभी हम लोगों का पर्पस क्या है, जैसे एमवे का जो मिशन है हेल्पिंग पीपल टू लिव बेटर एंड हेल्दियर लाइफ, उस मिशन और विजन को लेकर हम लोग कितने सारे फैमिली को बेटर कर सके, कितने सारे पेरेंट्स जो बाबा माँ जो चाहते हैं अपने बच्चे को बेस्ट ऑफ द बेस्ट एजुकेशन देने के लिए, अपने फैमिलीज को बेटर लाइफ देने के लिए, खुद का ड्रीम्स को फुलफिल करने के लिए, जो लेडीज ज्यादातर पीछे रह जाते हैं। हम तो मजाक से बोलते हैं लेडीज का आइडेंटिटी क्या था, हम लोग बाबा का बेटी, हस्बैंड का बहू और बेटा का माँ, यही हम लोगों का आइडेंटिटी था ना। लेकिन दिस प्लेटफॉर्म गिव्स अस persona to build our own identity. So thank you, thanks to IDSA, thanks to Amway, thanks to all my friends. Back to host.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much for sharing your wonderful journey with us. Before I call our next entrepreneur, it's a humble request. We are running short of time, so आपकी जर्नी जो है वो बहुत बड़ी है और उन्हें शब्दों में तो बयान किया ही नहीं जा सकता, शब्द कम करने पड़े हैं, लेकिन हमारे पास समय थोड़ा कम है, तो प्लीज आप अपनी जर्नी को बहुत ही सिंपल और बहुत ही प्यारे तरीके से यहाँ पे हमें बताएं. So next, I would like to call on stage Miss Jhumur Dhar. Let's have a huge round of applause, please.
Thank you. Myself Jhumur Dhar, वेस्ट बंगाल हुगली डिस्ट्रिक्ट से मैं बिलोंग करती हूँ. तो सबसे पहले मैं धन्यवाद करना चाहूंगी डायरेक्ट सेलिंग सभा सभी लीडर को, थैंक यू. और उसके बाद आप सभी को थैंक्स देना चाहूंगी. और थोड़ी टाइम ओके, तो जर्नी सभी के लिए हमारी एक ही है, मेहनत लगी और पॉजिटिव माइंड सेट के साथ इस बिजनेस के साथ हम खुद को जोड़े हैं और रखे हैं 13 साल से. और सबसे पहले डायरेक्ट सेलिंग इंडस्ट्री को मैं थैंक्स देना चाहूंगी क्योंकि हम सभी के लिए एक बेहतर अपॉर्चुनिटी है, बिजनेस अपॉर्चुनिटी जो एक ताकत होती है, जो एक आम व्यक्ति को मिलीनियर बिलीनियर में कन्वर्ट कर सकती है. ये डायरेक्ट सेलिंग का एक पावर होती है. और मैं थैंक्स देना चाहूंगी आज के डेट पे जो डायरेक्ट सेलिंग इंडस्ट्री के अंतर्भुक्त अल्टोस एंटरप्राइज लिमिटेड को, जो 13 साल से ये जर्नी करके आज मैं इस जगह पे पहुंच पाई हूँ. थैंक यू. और जर्नी मेरे लिए इतना इजी नहीं था क्योंकि ओनली हाउस मेकर ना कोई अनुभव, ना कोई स्किल्स। ये डायरेक्ट सेलिंग, ये बिजनेस हर व्यक्ति को ये सारे स्किल्स सिखा देता है। ये ऐसी यूनिवर्सिटी है जो बिना पैसा खर्च किए ये सारे जो स्किल्स होते हैं आप सीख जाते हो, मास्टर बन जाते हो। डायरेक्ट सेलिंग में अगर आप अपने आप को इन्वॉल्व करते हो तो ये आपको बेहतर से बेहतर लाइफ दे सकती है। आपके जो टूर है, जो सपने हैं, सबसे पहले आप अपने सपने को प्रोटेक्ट कर पाते हो। डायरेक्ट सेलिंग इंडस्ट्री में अगर आप आते हो, इस बिजनेस में आप इन्वॉल्व करते हो, अपने आप को डेडिकेशन के साथ एक जगह पे टिक के रहे करके कंसिस्टेंसी के साथ लगातार आप डेडिकेशन दिखाते हुए पॉजिटिव माइंड के साथ काम करते हो तो आपके लिए ये सुनहरा प्लेटफॉर्म आपके लिए इनवाइट करती है। और आप लोगों को मैं बताना चाहूंगी कि ये एक पावरफुल इंडस्ट्री है जो आपके सारे सपने पूरे कर सकते हैं। ये नहीं देखा जाता ये इंडस्ट्री में आपका धर्म कैसा है, आपका जात कैसा है, शिक्षा क्या है, आपका रंग कैसा है, आप दिखते कैसे हो। सिर्फ यही पूछा जाता है कि आप करिए, मेहनत करने के लिए तैयार हो। अगर है तो आपके लिए सुनहरा ये प्लेटफॉर्म आपको इनवाइट करती है। तो करिए, मेहनत करते रहना और एक जगह पे टिक के पॉजिटिव माइंड के साथ लगातार मेहनत करते रहना तो आपका प्लेटफॉर्म आपके लिए रेडी है। बोला जाता है मेहनत एक ऐसी चाबी है जो बंद भाग्यों के भविष्य के जो दरवाजे होते हैं वो खोल देते हैं। थैंक यू एवरीवन, थैंक यू सो वेरी मच।
Thank you so very much, ma'am. And ladies and gentlemen, it's time to recognize and honor the hard work of our women micro entrepreneurs. And with this, we shall start with the first name from Altus Enterprises, Miss Junudor. Let's have a huge round of applause, please, for the entire team as well. And I would request them to please kindly come forward. Please, let's have a big round of applause. Next, I would like to invite on stage Blue Life Marketing, Miss Rumpa Das Gupta. A big round of applause for Miss Rumpa Das Gupta and the entire team. Ladies and gentlemen, can I expect a big round of applause, please? From Amway India, Miss Mahua Ghosh and the entire team, please. Let's have a huge round of applause. Reena Ghosh from Oriflame, India. A big round of applause, please. I think we can do it much better than this. Please, everybody, all together. Next, I would like to call on stage Miss Paramita Chaudhary, Modi Care. A big round of applause, please. Next, I would like to call on stage Miss Pooja Kapoor from Herbal Life International India. A big round of applause, please. Next, I would like to call on stage Miss Regina Rutas from Life India. Let's have a huge round of applause, please. Please, everybody, a big and a huge round of applause. Next, I would like to invite Miss Moina Rani Roy, DXN Marketing India. Next, I would like to invite on stage Miss Anita Singh, IMC. Thank you so much. I would request all our respective dignitaries to please kindly take your seats. And I would like to congratulate each one of you. Can we have 100 round of applause for your hard work and achievement, please? You all deserve this. All right, so before we could proceed further, I would like to invite on stage one of our most empowerment entrepreneur of this evening, Miss Reena Ghosh. Let's have a huge round of applause, please.
Thank you. Good afternoon. First of all, আমি বাংলাতেই কমফোর্টেবল, তাই বাংলাতেই বলছি। সো প্রথমে আমি বলবো যে আমার 21 বছর হয়ে গেল এই ইন্ডাস্ট্রিতে, ডাইরেক্ট সেলিং ইন্ডাস্ট্রিতে। তো এইখানে আমি সাধারণ থেকে অসাধারণ হওয়া, ফার্স্ট জার্নিটা হচ্ছে আমার সাধারণ থেকে অসাধারণ হওয়া। তো এখানে আমি জার্নিটা শুরু করার সময় আমি হাউস ওয়াইফ ছিলাম। আমার 17 বছর একটা ছেলে আছে। ফ্যামিলি অ্যান্ড বিজনেস দুটো একসাথে কি বলবো মানে ব্যালেন্স করে আমি কিন্তু এই জায়গায় এসে পৌঁছেছি। তো এখান থেকে সাধারণ প্রচুর মানুষের স্বপ্ন যেগুলো আমরা ফুলফিল করতে পারি, যেমন আমি নিজে আমার স্বপ্নগুলোকে কিন্তু ফুলফিল করেছি। মানে ফরেন টিপস, কার, মানে আর্নিং তো এখান থেকে কি বলবো এই ইন্ডাস্ট্রিতে শুধু আমি সাধারণ মহিলাদের কথা বলছি না, এখানে আমি হাজার হাজার মানুষের মানে সাধারণ মহিলা থেকে স্টুডেন্ট থেকে এই অপরচুনিটি কিন্তু আমি দিতে পেরেছি এই ডাইরেক্ট সেলিং ইন্ডাস্ট্রি থেকে। তো আমি এখানে একটা কথাই সবাইকেই বলি যে আমি যখন সাধারণ অসাধারণ হতে পেরেছি, এখানে কিন্তু সবাইকে আমরা এই সাধারণ থেকে অসাধারণ করে তুলতে পারবো। তো আমি অরিফ্লেম থেকে এই ইনকামটা এই অপরচুনিটিটা আমার কাছে এসেছিল, তো এইখান থেকে আমি আমার জার্নি শুরু। তো এখানে আমি অরিফ্লেম আমার ফ্যামিলি অরিফ্লেমকে আমি থ্যাঙ্কস জানাই, আর ডাইরেক্ট সেলিং অ্যাসোসিয়েশনকে আমার থ্যাংক ইউ বলে আমার বক্তব্য শেষ করলাম।
Thank you so very much, ma'am. And now I would like to invite our respected chief guest, ma'am Roshni Sen, to please kindly share her words of wisdom with us. A big round of applause, please, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you so much, Mr. Rajat Banerjee, Chairman IDSA, Mr. Vivek Kattoch, Vice Chairman IDSA, Mr. Chetan Bhardwaj, General Manager IDSA, and the entire team, the participants who are associated with direct selling assembled in this room. Today, as I entered into the room, I must say I got inspired by the energy level and the dynamism that exists in this small gathering. Today, I have heard from the members, the senior-most members of IDSA. Chairman made a beautiful presentation. So far West Bengal is concerned, where we stand in direct selling. Vice Chairman, the General Manager also, in fact, presented this book that was published today through a beautiful PowerPoint presentation, and very interesting as well. But the most impressive of today's speeches came directly from the horse's mouth. Not horse, beautiful ladies, I must say. Jhumo ji, Maua ji, then Reena ji. So the way they spoke, one thing I must say, they have excellent communication skills. And although they said that anybody can get into direct selling, but I must say there's a small catch. Those who have good communication skills will do well, and it's something which one will not be born with. Communication skill is something which one can develop through practice and through confidence building. So this is very essential for all direct sellers, the excellent communication skills that all of you here have, and also along with that, the readiness to work very hard. So both these things combined, the ladies who are felicitated today, they have, and I'm sure everybody in the room also has that amount of hard work, that spark in them to do well in future. Now with this, I must say something. It's really an eye-opener for me to know that 84 lakh people are working in this direct selling sector in the country. That's a huge number, I must say, and this is happening silently. And only very, very recently, the direct selling rules have been formed by the Consumer Affairs Ministry. So the due recognition has been given to this sector, and in my state also we have made the guidelines. I'm happy to announce today that today we have launched the page on direct selling in our website wbconsumers.gov.in. So you go into that wbconsumers.gov.in, you will see on the left hand side something called direct selling. You click into this and you can apply for enrollment, and I must thank IDSA for suggesting me this. So as per their suggestion, I have already today only have introduced online enrollment of direct selling entities in our state. number one. Number two, I must thank the association because they have not only brought the individual companies under a fold, but they're also working as a watchdog to see that the direct sellers can get all the queries answered, they are not cheated, they are not made to go in the wrong direction. So they are like sort of guardian for direct selling companies. And they're working for more than 26 years now. And all the direct sellers have actually mentioned that along with their own company, it may be Amway, it may be Oriflame, it may be Modi, it may be any Herbalife, but also the association has been guiding them to go in the right direction and answering to all their queries and confusions and whatever clarifications they needed. Now, I just found out that there are only 18 companies now enrolled with, while in my office itself, in my department itself, more than 100 people have already applied for enrollment. So we are not calling it registration because registrations, you have registration under Companies Act and it's a more formal issue. We are calling it enrollment, a sort of empanelment. So hundreds of companies have enrolled. I know the companies which are members of this association, they are fit for enrollment, they're reliable because they have their, along with their company, also the association to ensure that they actually perform in the right direction. But many companies outside that, I would request the association to bring in all these companies functioning outside that, to bring them under their fold, because that will only make our work easier. If we have an association to deal with, instead of individual companies, as government, we can say it only makes things easier for us. And I promise that I would extend all sorts of help to the even remote places in the northeast, in the far south, in the hilly areas, everywhere they're silently working. It's really something that I really didn't know personally. I had always known that the biggest employment generator in our country is the IT sector. So, can you guess how many people are working in the IT sector in the country? Any guess? Any wild guess from anybody? Person who are engaged in the IT sector in India? Any guess?
40 lakhs?
Yeah, more than that, 50 lakhs. So that's way less than the number in this particular sector. The IT sector is always, said to have the maximum employment in the country. I was working with the Tea Board of India as Deputy Chairman for 5 years, and I used to say in this sort of meetings and conferences that after IT sector, it is tea. Tea which gives the maximum employment in plantations, and even there are small tea growers throughout the country. We have in Darjeeling, in Assam, in Himachal Pradesh, in Tamil Nadu, in various places we have plantations as well as multi-growers. Can you guess how many people work in the tea sector? In the tea industry? 20 lakhs. So again, that is much below the number working in this particular sector. So, where so many people are getting the employment, we should together try to strengthen their hands. Now, 84 lakh people work in this sector. They're all non-salaried. They're all non-salaried. So, and they don't have to spend, as some of the direct sellers said, that they don't have to spend much on overheads. It's only the personal labor, personal toil, personal networking that is most important. Here I would like to put the entire focus, all of you would in fact try to do that, on the product, because ultimately you are not actually doing a money circulation or a pyramid scheme. That is very clear. What you are doing, you are selling a product. The focus has to be entirely on the product, its quality and its price. I must say I have used some of the products as samples that that the companies gave me, and I'm very impressed with the quality. But in some of the cases, I found the price a bit too much. So I think we are a price sensitive market. We have to take care of the price aspect. Of course, the direct selling entities are selling products which are either not available in retail or otherwise, or the quality is much better than what is available in retail, and the prices are lower than the international brands where the quality is, of course, is beyond question. But still, the quality part and the price part has to have an optimum balance between the two. And I'm sure all the companies will, this is an appeal to the company, not to the direct sellers. You have to appeal to that part, that aspect. The presentation showed that direct selling is doing away with levels. The level of distributors, the level of wholesalers, the level of those who are storing the product, dealers, and they're directly going to the direct seller and then to the consumer. So naturally the price, and as I said, there are no overheads. So the prices should also reflect in that part. The advertisement of these products are mostly through word of mouth, which is excellent because you don't have very huge advertisements or anything. Maybe some of you have advertisements, but mostly it's through word of mouth. And the sellers themselves, mostly the ladies who use the products, they also sell the products, which is very important because once you know the product well, you can really speak from your first-hand experience. As given in the presentation, I think more than 70% of the products, 80% of the products cater to wellness, to personal care, to cosmetics. These are the sectors that are mostly catered to by the direct sellers. And people are becoming conscious of the health, not just women, men are also becoming conscious of the health, of beauty, of wellness. And these are really areas which we should take care of because, we have so many ailments which can be prevented if we take a little bit of precaution to begin with, and I'm happy that such companies are encouraging these products which are otherwise not maybe easily available. I would again say that the focus should be the product, its quality, its price, and the direct sellers who are silently working should get the recognition that is due to them. In fact, when I heard directly from the direct sellers, I was really inspired. And I think this sort of activity can be a part-time activity as well as the full-time activity to bring that extra income to the family. But I would think more women should come into it. I'm surprised that the percentage of women is falling down because this is an area very, very appropriate and very suitable for women. So this area has also to be looked upon if you can incentivize the women direct sellers, because not only they can do a better job, but it's also helping the society to, if women get a recognition, get an income, become economically strong and independent, it actually helps the society because they invest the money for the family. It is seen that whatever a woman earns, major portion she will invest for the family. For maybe 80% of her earnings she'll invest for the family. But when a man earns, he will invest only 20 to 30% for the family. And this is actually not an Indian perspective. It happens worldwide. So when women earns, it actually helps the family, helps the society, helps the children, helps generations to come. So bringing more women in the fold of this economic activity is extremely important. And lastly, I would again say that proper checks and balances are to be maintained, because here it is not just the consumer, end consumer, but also the seller, the direct seller, and the various levels whose interest needs to be protected. So this protection, this awareness, this right is something which we in the government need to ensure, and the association's presence is a big support for us. Thank you.
Thank you so very much, ma'am, for all your support. With this, now I would like to invite on stage Ms. Seema Vishal, Advocacy Committee member of IDSA, to please deliver the word of thanks. A big round of applause for her, please.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon, dignitaries. Good afternoon, ma'am. It's been a pleasure having you here and listening to your sharing and your understanding of the industry and the consumer at large. And what a wonderful event it has been. The enthusiastic participation and inspiring sharings from our women direct sellers. It deserves a special round of applause. Don't you think so? Thank you very much, ladies. With you, the direct selling industry in West Bengal would not have reached the place where it has reached today. And IDSA expresses its sincere gratitude to Ma'am Roshni Sen, who's an IAS Principal Secretary to the Consumer Affairs Department, Government of West Bengal, for gracing this occasion and her presence here. Your office has been a firm pillar, ma'am, for the support of the direct selling industry, and we assure you that that the industry and everyone associated with this industry shall make sure that the interests of the consumers will remain paramount and in working. And I would add to that your speech just before my coming on the stage. It was so, it gave us a lot of strength, and seeing the commitment from the authorities, from the government, it gives strength to our direct sellers and the companies to go ahead in the market and talk to consumers, because we know that what we are doing is right and for the benefit of the society, and the government is with us. It's a big support, ma'am. And on this occasion, I would like to specially request all our direct sellers in the state, you all have been the face of the industry, and you represent not only the companies, you represent the direct sales industry. So it's a huge responsibility, and I'm very honored to say that you are doing so great. Thank you so much. Thank you. Even though we may be working in different companies, selling different kind of product and which are unique, and but the direct sales industry is that wherever we will have an impact on the entire industry and not just one company. It's like what we say that phool alag alag hai, but bagicha ek hai. So that's how I feel. And thus it becomes important to us to ensure that all of us consider ourselves to be the brand ambassadors of the industry. Direct selling started because it was felt that the consumers deserve better and better service and better quality products. It's high time we put consumers above everything else. Mahatma Gandhi had once said, a consumer is the most important person in our premises. He's not the hindrance to our work, he's the purpose of our work. So finally, to all the direct sellers, to the women direct sellers, the achievers, keep doing the hard work, ladies, and keep shining. The industry is so proud of you, and the fact that women have been in the driver's seat in this industry to move it forward for more than 2.5 decades, I would say please give yourself a round of applause. We hope that you will continue to spread this positivity in the society and motivate others to be a part of this wonderful industry. I see this industry as a women empowerment center, a hub, and our country needs much, much more women direct sellers and entrepreneurs like yours to make India shining and make India that $5 trillion economy, and make women, an example. What we say, Shakti. This country says women is Shakti, and we want to make that world see that this country, women is Shakti. So I would like to conclude by saying, khol de pank. Once again, khol de pank, कहता है परिंदा, अभी और उड़ान बाकी है, ज़मीन नहीं है मंजिल मेरी, अभी तो पूरा आसमान बाकी है. Thank you so much. Thank you.
And now can I request all our women awardees to please kindly come on the dais for a group photograph with all our dignitaries, please.
All the women awardees kindly come on the dais with your trophies for a group picture with them. Please allow the media and the event photographer to have the captures, please. And I think all three of us men can devote the stage now. Ma'am, we have been getting a request from all the ladies actually. They want a picture with you. So I'll request all the ladies in the hall. You can come and have a group photo of all the ladies present in the auditorium. Maybe you can, yeah, please.
All right, thank you so very much, each one of you. With this, we officially bring this event to a close. Would request everybody to please kindly proceed for the lunch. Requesting all of you to please kindly proceed for the lunch.